Right, hi guys, it's Dan here, and today I'm going to be doing like a real quickie review of The Flame Bearer by Bernard Cornwell, which is the 10th book in his sort of Anglo-Saxon based historical fiction series, the Last Kingdom series. And as this is the 10th book in the series, you can accept spoilers for the whole previous 9 books, starting from now. Right. So with that said, we've finally got there. We've got there. You know, if you've read the previous book in the series, Warriors of the Storm, you'll know exactly what's coming in this one, because the last couple of paragraphs in that book, Uhtred basically tells you what's going to happen in this one. But, you know, we all knew that it had to be happening eventually. We knew it was coming. Uhtred is going to capture Bebbanburg. You know, finally, after decades of exile, Uhtred is returning to recapture his ancestral lands, and this time he's got an army at his back and he's got some allies. Of course, it's never that simple, and being Uhtred, as well as allies, he's also got a bunch of enemies. So before he can, retake his family fortress, he's got to defeat his cousin, also called Uhtred, who is the current incumbent of Bebbanburg. He's got to defeat a pirate, a Viking lord, Einar the White, a pirate known as the Mad Bishop. He's got to defeat, who else? A West Saxon nobleman, Ethelhelm. Oh yeah, and the King of Scotland as well. Why not throw that one in there too? So yeah, there you go. Is this any good? Well, I mean, obviously I love this series. Yeah, of course it's good. But it isn't the strongest entry in the series from a sort of technical point, I think. You know, in terms of the quality of the narrative, I would say, from my personal perspective. What I would also say, though, is that although, you know, this is not necessarily the strongest book in the series, it was absolutely a necessary book. We knew this had to happen at some point. We absolutely knew that Uhtred had to go back and capture Bebbanburg. We've been building up to it for the whole series. So this was a necessary book, and I was absolutely rooting for Uhtred all the way through. The amount of time that we've had invested in his character means that you're definitely rooting for him, and it was a real fun book to read in that sense. Now, I said this book wasn't the strongest in the series, and the main reason for that, I think, is that the plot, it feels a little bit samey. Now, I know that Cornwell is a formula writer. You know, he's got a formula that he sticks to, and it works, and brilliant, you know, fine. But normally it does have a little bit of a twist to it, you know, just enough difference that you don't feel like you're rereading the last book or whatever. Now, perhaps it's because this book is not based on historical events, or perhaps it's because we already know how it's going to end before we've even started reading it. But the formula was particularly clear in this one. So yeah. But, you know, like I say, I absolutely devoured it in a couple of days, and I was totally invested in it from start to finish. So can't complain too much, really. Now, the other thing I will say, and it's more about the series overall than this book in particular, but we've not seen an awful lot of character growth from Uhtred in the past few books. You know, early on in the series, there was loads of growth, but that seems to have kind of stopped now. You know, there was a hint of it in I think it was in the Pagan Lord, where Uhtred is having to come to terms with getting older, but then that seems to have been kind of glossed over in the last couple of books, apart from a couple of throwaway comments, really. But anyway, yeah, this was still a really good read, and it's got all the sort of epic battles and political manoeuvring and, you know, cunning chicanery and, you know, comedy insults that you expect from the Last Kingdom series. So yeah, if you've got this far in the series, I mean, you've got to read this one, The Flame Bearer. You've got to read it to see Uhtred capture Bebbanburg, because that's what we've been building up to for the last 10 books, and yeah, I enjoyed it for sure. So that's all. Anyway, yeah, definitely read this series, and I'll see you for... I don't actually own the next book in this one, so I'm going to have to buy the next book before I read it. But yeah, anyway, definitely give it a go. Last Kingdom series, Bernard Cornwell, top stuff.